championship was going on between Australia and South Africa. They were getting acclimatized to the conditions, first practicing in London, then coming to Headingley in the last 2 days, because this is the dawn of a new era for Indian Test cricket. Being from Pataudi Trophy to Anderson Tendulkar Trophy.
It's not Stuart Broad and Jimmy Anderson who were there to take advantage of that swinging ball. I think both Yashasvi and Shubman batted really well. Then obviously Rishabh Pant came on and did Rishabh Pant things. He has scored now most number of centuries as an Indian wicketkeeper.
Which Bumrah really extracted out of the pitch on day two. But I don't think Prasidh possesses that kind of skill, and that could cost India because Shardul is a pure swing bowler.
Looking at Ben Stokes' bowling is a sight to behold. I mean, he's such a phenomenal cricketer.
He just gave a smile and just gave some words to Rishabh Pant. But then Rishabh Pant finally got his senses back and he started giving some respect to Ben Stokes.
Lost his nerve in the end, did Michael Holding. And Lord Carr, chairman of the credentials.
They're running. It's got to be a direct hit. Getting back for two. That is the end of the match. Won the NatWest Series.
It would have been fantastic if it would have been 100.
In the air, Srishan takes it. India win. Finishes off in style. A magnificent strike into the crowd. Here we go, last ball to the outside, running through it, could be run out.
Wide, Muller gets it, and he gets plenty of it, does he? No, what a catch! Oh my God!
It's in the air, it's India who win the T20 World Cup after 17 years.
We have all been glued to our television sets in the last 2 days because this is the dawn of a new era for Indian Test cricket and also on a overall across formats level also. So I think these 2 days have given you enough to discuss, enough to chatter, and enough to ponder upon the future with a glimmer of hope that we all are looking at right now. So here are me and Nishant taking you through to the first 2 days of this Headingley Test match between India versus England, which was more in controversy regarding its title being from Pataudi Trophy to Anderson Tendulkar Trophy rather than the actual game on the pitch. But yeah, we will be discussing more about what the game holds for the next 3 days and what has been transpired for the first 2 days. So, how are you, Nishant? How are you doing? And what do you think about all that has been happening since the last 2 days?
Hi Divyansha, I'm good, and hello everyone to Cricket Castaway. Yeah, I mean, for me, so as we're recording, it's a Sunday, and the day three is just about to start. So I think the first 2 days of this test match have been absolutely fantastic. I don't think we as cricket fans could have asked for much more from a test game. When the PGT final was happening and we recorded our episode, we were just talking about that the test matches don't go post day three anymore, and you probably see the result coming in the second by the second day itself. This is completely opposite of it. I mean, this is a proper test match with two sides battling it out. And yeah, as we are sitting right now, day three is about to start, and we have no idea where this test match would go in the coming days. So, I mean, that's the beauty of test cricket. And yeah, so far, so good. I'm really loving it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Nishant, talking about the day one, since we will start with the toss. So, Ben Stokes won the toss, and I think, as has been the case in the last decade or so, the conditions at the Leeds ground in Headingley stays bowler friendly for the first 2 days or 1.5 days. So, keeping that in mind, Ben Stokes chose bowling first, hoping that India would crumble under the swinging conditions and they would be rather uncomfortable facing these unfamiliar conditions. But I think India was much more prepared this time because players from Squad A, India A squad, and others as well were gotten a lot of time to get accustomed to the situation while the final of Test Championship was going on between Australia and South Africa. They were getting acclimatized to the conditions, first practicing in London, then coming to Headingley. And of course, before that, guys like Karun Nair and others playing as part of India A squad also, Shardul Thakur and all. So I think this time they were better prepared as compared to some of the previous tours we have seen because they just go straight out of IPL and in the next week itself they start playing the test. So I think this time they got a little bit of time to get into the things, and I think that showed the way KL Rahul and Yashasvi started, and they gotten through the first tricky hour where most of the swing conditions are available to be exploited, and I think this was not the quintessential conditions that we see at Headingley because the sun was uh, shining bright and it was not that conducive to the swing bowling situations. Otherwise, the way we have seen in the last decade. So, what do you say about that?
I think right at the offset, I mean, there's so much reliability on data these days that sometimes you forget common sense in the process. That's, I think, what happened here. One thing, I know we are old enough now. We've been watching Test cricket for years and years and years. One thing is certain that you don't really get blue skies in England. And when you get sun shining and blue skies at the time of toss, you choose to bat first. But as you rightly said, the last six test matches at Headingley had been won by the teams who were bowling first. Taking that into account, Ben Stokes probably just ignored the fact that looking at the overhead conditions, there was no way anyone could have chosen to bowl first. But I wouldn't blame him for that simply because our captain Shubman Gill also at the toss said that he would have probably
Yes,
chose to ball first as well. So probably common sense isn't any isn't that common anymore. It's all about what you see in the stats. But stats sometimes don't tell the clear picture. I think at the start of it, because the pitch was fresh, the ball was indeed doing a bit, but it's not, as we talked about, it's not Stuart Broad and Jimmy Anderson who were there to take advantage of that swinging ball. These are new bowlers. They were not pitching it at the point all the time. The length was varying, the line was varying, which meant that KL Rahul and Yashasvi could see off that new ball fairly easily. Uh, I think at the outset, when KL Rahul got out very close to lunch, it was just 7 minutes to lunch at that point of time when he got out. It was a bit frustrating for me. But looking back at it, I think we as fans just want, if a player has gotten a start, he needs to get 100. But that doesn't always happen. I think KL Rahul played superbly in this first innings, and he set that platform on which then Shubman and Yashasvi could build upon and take our score somewhere where it would be competitive. Uh, I think
definitely.
both I think both Yashasvi and Shubman batted really well, really really well. And then obviously Rishabh Pant came on and did Rishabh Pant things. He has scored now most number of centuries as an Indian wicketkeeper, taking ahead from Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and he just took half the Test matches for that. He has now scored in every Sena country apart from New Zealand. Scored 100 in every Sena country apart from New Zealand. So Australia, South Africa, and England are all done. This is
Yeah, definitely. So that partnership of 91 between Yashasvi Jaiswal and KL Rahul gave us a
there's
solid
a call
start, which
coming.
yeah. So that solid partnership of 91 for the first wicket gave us the platform to be comfortable to play the natural game that Indian team has played here. So I think yeah, that was the most important partnership of the series, if I may say, was right there. But after that, once KL Rahul got out, I saw a little bit of discomfort from Yashasvi Jaiswal. I think his forearms were worked up pretty bad, and he was taking massages. All in all, like every 15-20 minutes, the game was disrupted quite a few times there. Do you think it's just a phase in his career, or is there a deeper problem in the fitness regime of Yashasvi Jaiswal?
I don't know, man. I'm not a physio, so I can't really judge that. I think this is not the first time it has happened. So whenever he plays a longer innings, so if he's playing 150 balls or more, which is fairly consistent. If you see, Yashasvi does play a lot of balls when he gets set. He generally scores long hundreds and double hundreds as well. So we have seen this happen, and he specifically gets his arms cramped, which is a cause of a concern. I think it is because he's very young. He's just 23 right now. He has at least 10 years of cricket, Test cricket left in front of him. So he will play a lot more longer innings. So whatever it is, it needs to be taken care of by the Indian physios and medical team because I think that was the reason that he got out. He basically threw away his wicket after that. So after post three session, it was probably the first over or so when he got out in the post three session, and it was simply because he wanted to up the ante and take as many runs as possible and do as much damage as possible to England because he probably realized himself that he wasn't really ready to play the next 50 balls or so, which is a cause of concern. So I think
Definitely.
this needs to be looked at.
Yeah.
Overall, I think his innings was very good. He did get a bit out of rhythm, as you rightly said, when KL got out. And then when Sai got out, it could have been a very, very tricky situation for us. But Shubman Gill looked sublime, and kudos to him to getting that first century in a Sena country. It meant a lot to him. It meant a lot for the Indian cricket as well because he's the newly appointed captain. So all the naysayers can basically take a back seat at least for the first 2 days.
Yeah.
So overall, yeah, it's a cause of concern of what happens to Yashasvi during the long innings, but we'll see if it continues throughout his career as well.
Yeah. So the wicket of Sai Sudarshan, the debutant, I think it was purely nerves. He didn't like nobody wants to come in when there are only 5 minutes remaining for the lunch, and you just have an over to see off. And I think with that nervous energy, he just made that mistake of uh, like nudging that ball to the leg side and well caught by Jamie Smith. But I think the point that Ben Stokes had to come and bowl just after 15 overs on the day one shows the inexperience that this side is carrying. I mean, apart from Chris Wokes, none of the other pacers have even played 5 tests in their overall career. So it shows us that uh, it puts a lot much pressure on Ben Stokes to bowl because he's recovering from a hamstring injury. Still, he bowled 13 overs on day one, and he was the most successful bowler out of all. So I think there is a little bit of a concern there in England camp as well. They are very dearly missing Jofra Archer and Mark Wood, but they have to make do with
Yeah.
whatever talent pool they have. How so much they are inexperienced, but they have to make do with this. But after that came the partnership of Rishabh Pant and Shubman Gill, and what a sublime partnership it was. The batters who declared beforehand that they would be batting number four and number five, and it showed how convinced, how promising they were in their decision of choosing the number that they did, and it kind of solidified the platform, the captain and the vice captain taking the team out of dangerous waters after losing quick wickets close to lunch. So I think, yeah, all in all, it was the day one was owned by India, apart from a few chances that gone England's way, and overall a good performance by
Yeah,
India on day one, a solid batting performance. I mean, even Ben Stokes wouldn't have thought that it would be 359 for three at the end of day one.
yeah,
So really, really good
yeah,
performance. Moving
yeah.
on to
I
day
think
two, yeah,
Yeah, I think just just looking at Ben Stokes' bowling is a sight to behold. I mean, he's
yeah,
such a phenomenal cricketer. He bats so well, he bowls so well. I mean, he's the kind of guy that we would have probably wanted Hardik Pandya to become in Test cricket. But
yes.
Hardik plays T20 and he has decided that he won't play any white ball cricket. So it's a choice that players make these days. But it just shows you how good what a caliber of a player Ben Stokes is. And considering the fact that England haven't really played any Test series since December, this is their first Test series after December. So he has
Yes.
had a good break of about 5 months. His body is well rested. So I don't know if he'll continue to ball in the Ashes or not, but at least for these five Test match series, I think India will have to face a lot more of Ben Stokes in the coming days and weeks.
Definitely. And whenever he comes to bowl, he seems to be looking for a wicket, which is the most positive
Yeah,
thing I saw in the England
yeah.
bowling
He
lineup.
also has such great variations. I mean, can
Yes,
bowl a
yes.
slow Yorker and things like that. I mean, it's amazing what this guy can do.
Yeah, the ball he got the wicket of Yashasvi Jaiswal was also a peach of a delivery,
Yeah,
an ideal delivery for a left-hander. Although Yashasvi was set enough to see through that, but maybe due to his lack of reflexes or that cramping forearms, he couldn't get his bat down in time. But I think that was an ideal delivery for any left-hander you are going to bowl to.
yeah,
So that's how his mind works. I think Ben Stokes is a cunning player. He keeps thinking.
yeah,
Even when Rishabh Pant took him on, he just gave a smile and just gave some words to Rishabh Pant because he knew that if Rishabh continues to come at him, there will be a
yeah,
ball where
yeah,
he will get the wicket. But then Rishabh Pant finally got his senses back and he
yeah.
started. Giving some respect to Ben Stokes, and then he played very
This is
judiciously.
this is going to be such an exciting contest. So we are in first test right now. It was the first innings, day one, and we saw Rishabh Pant charging Ben Stokes on the second delivery, which Ben didn't really like that much. You have
Yeah,
to say, though there was no fireworks at that point of time. But by the time we come to third test match of this series, I think if Rishabh and Ben Stokes are going to be at opposite ends, are going to be a lot of fireworks because the pressure would be there. And it's the third, fourth, and the fifth test where, if the series is still alive, I
yeah.
think we're going to have a lot of entertainment seeing these two.
Definitely. Then coming to day two, I think India was set for a humongous score. I was looking at a 550 or more of a score
Yeah,
to bat England out of the match. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. Like after Shubman got out and Pant scored his century, I think there was a bit of a lapse in concentration, and the other players didn't really turn up. I think the catch of Karun Nair was fantastic, but that shot that he played was not required at that time. He could have bide more time, and he could have played more sensibly. Looking at the domestic experience he has, and then after that, like India lost 41, lost
yeah.
7 wickets on the last 41 runs. So they couldn't even touch the mark of 500, and I think that is where we left at least 50 to 70 runs on table there.
Yeah, I think it's criminal, if you ask me. So there's a stat I was reading that India, whenever they have scored at least three players have scored 100 in an inning of a test match. This is the lowest score we have
Yes,
ever achieved. But I think it's just criminal the way every other guy batted. Karun Nair, probably the first test after such a long time, they were a bit of nerves. But Ravindra Jadeja, Shardul Thakur, all of them just threw their wicket away. I think it was more like they were thinking that we already have a lot of runs on the board. Let's just have a blast out there. Let's just enjoy ourselves, forgetting the fact that they are not batting in India in a Rajkot wicket. They're batting at Headingley Leeds,
Yeah.
and if they don't apply themselves, they won't have any chance to score the runs, and that is what happened. I mean, losing Shubman Gill got out when they were 430. And then by the time, of course, at 70 was scored, the team was inside the pavilion. So, I mean, this is just criminal. I think we have left a door open for England. It means that we're going to have a really good test match now. And there's
Yeah.
no way this test match is not going to day five. But as you rightly said, I think even 550 was a less of a demand at that point of time after the way Shubman and Pant had played. I think we should have at least got to 600 and then declared the game and not actually gotten out. But I think now England has one foot in the door.
Yeah, definitely. I think they the bottom half of the Indian batting order, they let the T20 mode take over them. I think the IPL hangover is still somewhere in
Yeah,
there because if
yeah,
they would have taken it, because they had all the time in the world, it was only day two and that too before tea. So I think th that was not a wise decision by the Indian batters
I,
taking it
I don't
so.
mind. I don't mind them taking a T20 approach because they were already so many runs. If they could have gotten 100 runs in a quick fire time, that
Yeah.
was fine with us. I mean, that was actually needed in the game. That they bat at a higher tempo. But look at it: Karun Nair 0, Jadeja 11, Thakur 1, Bumrah, Siraj, Prasidh. We don't expect anything. But 0,
Yeah.
11, 1. That is three batsmen have 12 runs in between them who are trusted middle order and lower middle order batsmen. I think that's just not good enough.
I could see the disappointment on Gautam Gambhir's face when Shardul gave away his wicket on such a nothing delivery just five
Yeah,
minutes before tea. I could see Gautam Gambhir. It's just that he didn't blurted
yeah,
any explosive dialogues there, any you can say any words there, but the disappointment was there to see on his face because he
yeah,
expected much more out of Shardul Thakur, and he has recently performed really well in domestic cricket, scoring
yeah,
100 for Mumbai. So a lot was
yeah,
expected from Shardul Thakur there.
yeah. Yeah, and you ultimately made Josh Tongue look like a prime
Yeah,
Stuart Broad or Jimmy Anderson, which he is not. So
right.
I mean, he was the guy had no wickets. He's gone away for a lot of runs, and then he finishes the innings with four wickets. I mean, that's just not acceptable. I don't think so. This will boost his confidence, and it's not good for us.
Definitely. So India could only conjure up for 471 in the first innings, and then came England. The game was interrupted due to some light showers in between, and we thought this couldn't be become any better for us if we have some overcast conditions and with Bumrah and Siraj on. And Bumrah did take Jack Crawley's wicket in the first over itself, and that was a treat to watch the kind of balls that were coming out of his arsenal. He was quite unplayable, but I think he didn't get enough support from the other side. Neither Prasid nor Siraj, at least in the first 15 overs, they weren't able to put enough pressure on England batters, and they ran away with it. Ollie Pope and
Yeah,
Ben Duckett scored at a rate of 5 runs per over, which baseball are accustomed to do. And I think we lost kind of our grip there because they went
yeah.
past 100 runs on just with just one wicket to show in the bowler's tally.
Yeah.
What?
So first day, I think completely belonged to India. Second day, completely belonged to England. That's the story of
Yes.
this Test match till now. I don't know. We would find ourselves if we didn't have Jesse. He comes on in every spell. He takes a wicket. He took Jack Crowley in the first spell. He took Duckett in the second, and then Root in his third spell. So I don't understand what the other paper chasers are doing. There is a bit of a ray of a hope in the sense that Siraj in his third spell finally started looking into rhythm, and he was bowling actually very good and beating Joe Root a lot of times on the off stump. So Siraj looks like he's coming back into the rhythm, which is a good sign for us. But Prasidh looks completely out of sorts. It's like a deer in a headlight. He doesn't know where he is, and that's a cause of a concern because he's our third seamer. Shubman didn't really give Shardul that much to bowl as well, at least in the first two sessions. And then Shardul started coming in, but I think Prasidh and both Siraj is still showing some signs of recovery, but Prasidh isn't showing any sign of recovery, and it's a cause of a concern for us.
Yeah, definitely. Like Prasidh went for 56 in his 10 overs. It's more like looked like a one-day bowler rather than a test cricket bowler, and I think maybe he needs to get some guidance from Bumrah and Siraj. But like I don't think he has enough variations
Yeah,
to bowl on this wicket because this is a batter-friendly wicket. Of course, we know that, but there is
yeah,
some movement available off the deck as well, which Bumrah really extracted out of the pitch on day two. But I don't think I don't think Prasidh possesses that kind of a skill, and that could cost India because Shardul is a pure swing bowler, and when the swing goes away, they took Shardul for cleaners. He
yeah,
gave 23 runs in 3 overs,
yeah,
and when tomorrow they come a set better like Ollie Pope would want to capitalize on that, and things would be
yeah,
difficult. But yeah, Siraj has shown a glimmer of hope that he has. Probably he was out of practice of this format, and now he is coming back into the rhythm that we know him
yeah,
for.
yeah.
So yeah,
I
all hopes are on
I think
Jaspreet and
I
Siraj.
think Shubman waited way too long to bring in Shardul. I think
Yeah,
before bringing in Jadeja, you had to bring in Shardul, and even I think on the 14th and 15th over time, Shubman brought Siraj back, but it was Prasidh bowling from the other end. I thought at that time point of time it should have been Shardul and
yes,
Prasidh who should have been operating. And yeah, if Prasidh was or Shardul were then going for runs, that's fine. You can replace them then and probably bring in a Jadeja or someone else. But as you rightly said, Shardul was brought in so late when the ball was soft. There was no swing available for him, and he went for a lot of runs. I don't think we gave him enough opportunity to shine as a bowler. So I think he should have been brought in a lot more earlier. Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah,
definitely.
I think we also dropped a lot of catches on the field yesterday, which is not a good sign as well. We have seen Yashasvi drop a few in the slip cordon, though he has a reputation of being a very good fielder, and I understand that because he has taken some amazing catches. But he has also dropped a fair few in the past few years, and specifically in Australia series as well. He dropped a fair few catches, so that is there. But the one which really surprised me was Ravindra Jadeja dropping Oli Pope. Oli was at 55 or 60 at that point of time. And
Yeah.
you don't expect Jadeja to drop. It was an easy catch which he dropped, and he would be really disappointed with himself. And that's where I think Pope then went on to make 100.
Yeah, it cost India too much once before,
Yeah,
like first Jadeja and then Yashasvi also dropped him in the slip. So I think the luck is with Ollie Pope since he is fighting for this
yeah,
place with Jacob Bethel, as we know. He did
yeah,
really well as a number three in the New Zealand tour. So I
yeah,
think Ollie Pope is fighting for his place
yeah.
in the team and
When Oli Pope came to India in Bangalore, he scored a 190 odd or something, and it was like an amazing inning. I'm just completely reminded of that because
yes.
he may well go on today to score a big one. I mean, he scores at a brisk pace any which ways. It can be really difficult for us after that if he goes on really well.
Definitely. So whenever Ollie Pope struggles, an India tour is like right there to revive his career because I was looking at some stats. for Ollie Pope, and he has scored, including this 100, he has scored 900s, and none of them are against South Africa or not South Africa or New Zealand or England, New Zealand or Australia. And if we take out the rest of the test playing nations, his average drops to, I think, in the upper 20s against uh, uh, Australia and New Zealand. And whenever they think of dropping him before the Ashes, which is the biggest test tournament for England, some or the other tour comes around, and Ollie Pope just revives himself again, and just is able to save his career. So
Yeah,
his stats are an anomaly in itself. So yeah,
yeah.
uh,
Yeah, but he does play against India, and I mean
yes, very
he
well.
looks really good right now. I mean it was so unlucky. Just he could have gotten a fourth one with Harry Brook at the last over, but there was a no ball. And I don't really see Jesse bowling a lot many no balls, but that was what it was. And it's again. I mean today is going to be a crucial first hour. If India doesn't manage to pick up early wickets, this match can go ahead, go far from us very quickly because at the pace that England bat at, I mean,
Yeah.
they will score these 260 remaining runs in two sessions if they are allowed to. So we'll have to think about something.
Yeah, definitely. Before lunch, we have to get at least two wickets, and if we can get Ollie Pope and Harry Brook both, then it things can go work in favor of India. Otherwise, it will change so fast. Like they won't have
Yeah,
any lead to rely on. Probably England
yeah,
can take over the 471 mark that India made in the first inning also. So I think they
yeah,
have to be really careful and to be on point. And did not do not commit the mistake that England bowlers did. As I was looking, they did not attack the stumps. Uh, the percentage of balls balled on the stumps were too less, and they could have attacked the stumps more. So Indian bowlers should not commit that mistake and should stay on their lines and their game plan, stick to the game
yeah,
plan so that they can utilize these
yeah,
situations. The first hour
yeah.
would be crucial today.
Yeah, yeah. I think any which ways. So I think India is gonna bat today at some point, any which ways. So it's
Yeah,
only a matter if we allow England to make us bat, that would means probably England would give a declare at like when there's 15 or 16 overs left in the game and make us bat those 15, 16 overs in the evening. Our best shot would be if we can wrap them up maybe an hour post tea or something like that because that would mean we would still have around 30-40 runs in lead and I think this match goes to day 5 any which ways but you would need a lead of around 400 to defend against England in that fifth day because they have shown that they can chase around 350 on day 5. Yeah.
definitely. The way they bat consistently at a run rate of 4.5 to 5, they can chase that target in no time. So we have to have enough runs in the bank to give our bowlers a chance to get them all out before they reach that mark. So I think
Yeah.
yeah, the first start
Before
today would be
so they're advertising a lot of those 60 overs to hell, which Virat has
yes,
said on the TV. So I think this can happen today on day 5 as well. But yeah, we would need a lot of runs to do that, to give them
definitely
those
we have
60
to
overs of hell again. And we
we
don't have
have
that bowlers anymore. Look at
yes,
that series. I mean, they had Bumrah, Shami, they had
Shami,
Siraj, and they had Ishant as the fourth bowler. There's no comparison between Ishant and Shardul Thakur. I mean,
yes.
we'll have to give Virat that one thing. During his captaincy, he played proper four fast bowlers in all those series, and that made all the difference.
Definitely. It was his consistent emphasis on playing the pace battery whenever we go outside of India, at least to England, South Africa, and New Zealand, uh, that made him that successful Test captain that he is.
Yeah,
I think if we had Shami in our side instead of Prasidh Krishna, things could have been completely different
yeah,
the
100%,
because
100%.
the way
Yeah,
Shami bowled
yeah.
last over, I think
I think I think at this point of time, even you were right. They could have gone with Arshdeep. I
Arshdeep,
think
yes,
he would have bowled better. I think at this point of time, the way the momentum I see Prasidh, then I think even Harshit Rana was a better option. He was at least very good in Australia.
definitely, definitely. Yeah, I think Prasidh looks out of sorts and low on confidence, and probably he's not feeling like he belongs there.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a mental
He has a,
barrier to
he had
overcome.
a very good IPL. Let's not forget that. But a red
Yes,
ball and a white ball game are completely different. Probably he'll prove us wrong and today show us a better rhythm like Siraj did yesterday in
yes,
his final spell. And if that happens, then good enough. You can have a one bad day and nobody would bat an eye or even remember it if he can perform today, but he needs to perform in this match. Otherwise, I don't see him playing the second test match if he is in the
yeah.
same rhythm.
Definitely, definitely. And I'm expecting a lot out of Karun Nair and Sai Sudarshan in the second innings because
Yeah,
not every time there would be Rishabh Pant and Shubman Gill to save the day. And
yeah,
there has to be every
yeah,
player has to put up their hands to take the
yeah.
team to the
Yeah,
finish line.
and
And I
and
think,
Karun can also not forget that Sai is a darling of Indian cricket at this moment because of his IPL performances, and he also plays under Shubman, so he will get a better rope, a longer rope. But
yeah,
for Karun, there are Jurel waiting there,
yes.
and Sarfaraz waiting there who have already performed. So I think Karun needs to specifically perform in the second innings.
Definitely. And also they have quite surprisingly they have called Harshit Rana also to join the squad. Probably they are not very confident about the contingent that they have. So
Yeah,
Harshit Rana
yeah.
has also joined the squad.
I think that's what I said, right? Because if you're not confident in Prasidh, then Harshit
Yeah,
had performed actually very well in Australia, considering that it was his first series there.
yeah,
So I think it's good that they have brought him there and they have options because again Harshit is the kind of bowler who will give you something when the pitch isn't providing anything. I think why I didn't
yes.
want Arshdeep to start is simply because if there is no swing, then Arshdeep doesn't really have any other tool in his arsenal. Prasidh has height. Prasidh can get some movement from the seam, but if he's not giving you that, then I think Harshit becomes your next best choice.
Definitely, definitely. So we'll all get to know what happens in the next 3 days, and that will also influence the team selection for the upcoming matches. So yeah, we will bring you all of that and more. So keep tuning in to Cricket
Yeah,
Castaway, and also don't
yeah,
forget to watch the
yeah,
moving day of
yeah,
the first Test match today. So. We'll come
yeah,
back to you, and till then, keep watching, keep subscribing. This is
yeah,
me and Nishant signing off from Cricket Castaway. Have a great weekend and good night. Good day.
yeah. Bye bye.
Thank you.